And we are live from an undisclosed location somewhere deep in the heart of American flyover country. I'm Jeffrey Darty, the Christian whistleblower. Nice to see you all here tonight. This will probably conclude our broadcast podcast excellence for the day. I want to talk about the concept of remaining Christian while you're waking up. Remaining Christian while you're waking up. Many of us have come along this path of truth, if you will, new age, new truth, whatever you want to call it, by way of Christianity. And as we leave the Christian world and move into the world that we're in now, it creates some interesting experiences. It creates some interesting transitions. And let's talk a little bit about that tonight. Most of you know that for 20 years, I was a licensed Protestant minister. I'm a Bible college graduate, 20 years again as a Protestant minister. And you don't just walk away from that overnight. Well, I guess if I had more integrity, I would have walked away from it a lot sooner. But there was a lot of things like kids having to eat and rent being paid by church, cars by church, house by church, all of that stuff. So it took me a little bit longer than I thought. But as I moved out of the Christian worldview, I was moving into a worldview of more truth and more understanding. And the thing about, okay, hello, Carmen and Lori and Chris and Cure and Charlie and Daniel and the rest of you that are remaining, Shauna, the rest of you that are remaining. What's that? Boy, it's late for me, and you're remaining incognito, but nothing incognito about Delaney Jackson. So anyway, folks, how long can you remain Christian and be a quote unquote truther? Hate the term, but I don't know what else to call us. How long can you remain a Christian and become awake? And I asked that question for several reasons. Let's give us something to ponder tonight. And this is really hot water. Give us something to ponder tonight, because being awake means that you realize that you don't know everything. Being awake means that you realize that there are some truths that are probably unknowable. And really, in the words of Scotty Roberts, and since it's late, I'll just say the unfiltered version. The more shit you know, the more you realize you don't know shit. And the more the one prerequisite, or the one requisite for learning and waking up more, is realizing you don't know anything, and realizing there's really no rules, and realizing nobody knows everything, and realizing there's way more than one way to do things. The problem is Christianity teaches it's the only way. Christianity teaches there's only one truth, and they got it. Christianity teaches there's only one way to believe things, and it's their way. How can you remain a Muslim and be awake when Islam teaches there's only one way? And if Islam teaches it can't be questioned. How can you truly remain Jewish and be awoke if you believe Judaism says it's the one way and everything it says is right? In the same way, how can you remain Christian and be truly woke? Because Christianity says we've got all the answers. The woke person says there really aren't any ultimate answers. The Christian says our way is the only way. The woke person says, boy, I find a new way every day. The woke person says there's a whole world of different truth. The Christian person says we've got the only truth. I was going to pick up the Bible and saying, here it is. Do you see what I'm getting at? This is going to make a lot of people uncomfortable, but I'll just say it. You will never become truly awake until you are no longer Christian. You will never become truly awake until you're no longer a Muslim. You will never become truly awake until you're no longer a Jew. You will never become truly awake until you have stripped yourself of all the vestiges of exclusive religiosity. You cannot believe that you're the member of a certain group that has all the answers and say that you're awake. It's oxymoronic. It's hypocritical. And as good as Christians are at those two things, you can't get away with it. Not here. The Christian truther movement is an oxymoron, because you can't be Christian and truther, and you can't be truther and Christian. You just can't do it. Christianity is exclusivist. Truth is inclusivist. Christianity says we know it all. The truther says we really don't know anything. The Christian says, I know everything. I'll show you. The truther says, I don't know anything, but I'm going to find a way to learn more today than I learned yesterday. You cannot be a member of Abrahamic religion and be awake. You cannot be a Christian and be awake. You cannot be awake and be a Christian. There's no way you can say all the truth is included in one volume. There's no truth outside of this truth. You can be a Christian. You can be awake, but you can't be both at the same time. I'll be open to debate and discussion on this with anybody. Abrahamic religion is anti-woke. Tracy Dyer said that, but I stole it really fast, so it's almost like I said it. That's a hard truth. That's a hard pill to swallow. But until you let go of your exclusive religion, you will never be able to grasp ultimate truth. Socrates said, as Stephen Reed tells us, all I know is that I know nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's hard. It's tough. It's difficult. Unlearning error so that we can learn truth, and realizing that we'll never know it all. But you don't have to be that smart to realize that all wisdom doesn't lie in a book written by 40 different people over 4,000 years. That's only about 20% true. Christian truther? I don't think so. No such thing. Do you want to be Christian? You've got that right. Don't call yourself a truther. You can be one or you can be the other, but you can't be both. It's like being an Islamic Jew or a Jewish Christian or a Christian Muslim. Can't do it. And we don't know about those 40 people that actually wrote it. Ain't that the truth? Well, that's all I got this afternoon, this evening, ladies and gentlemen. You can't remain Christian while waking up. Do you really want to wake up? Decide. Because if you do, it's a one-way ticket to the middle of nowhere all by yourself. It's pretty much what it is. You've got to be willing to take a one-way ticket to the middle of nowhere all by yourself. And hope that you find some cousins along the way. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. Do you really want to guide your own spirit? Do you really want to master your own ascension? Do you really want to be your own guru? Are you willing to take a one-way trip to the middle of nowhere on a slow train all by yourself? Personally, that excites me. You know what I'm hearing in my head? I'm hearing how's that go? On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep. Yeah, remember that song? That's kind of what it's like. Are you willing to take that? You willing to take that trip? And remember what they said in that song? The best that you can hope for is to die in your sleep. Interesting concept. Pick up your cross at least. Why would you pick up a cross? It's not your cross. You ain't got a cross. Why would you pick it up? Get that cross out of my face. Not picking up no cross. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to walk away. You got to know when to run. You can walk away from Christianity or you can run away from Christianity. I suggest you run away from Christianity. And as I say these words, I can see a lot of you are out of aces. But for a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice. Don't hold them, fold them, go all in, get on the train, bound for nowhere, one-way ticket, all by yourself. And you'll wind up with more peace, more happiness, more fun, and more company than you ever imagined. I guarantee it. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, encouraging you to guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, and be your own guru. We are the last generation of real humans. I've made a life of reading people's faces, and I can tell you're all winners. You're in your prime. This is just your game. Jeffrey Daugherty, Christian Whistleblower. Unindoctrinate yourself. See you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Central. Tracy Dyer says she's the Joker card. Perfect. See you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Central Time. Not your normal Sunday show with R. Wayne Steiger. We're the gamblers. And we're all going to draw a royal flush.